Well, of course, you really didn't need a PhD to see this one coming. Washington botching that push to keep student loan rates low. The White House threatening not to veto the GOP plan that was just passed in the House. It uses money from the president's health care law to pay for it. The Democratic plan uses tax hikes to fund it. Both parties, though, are having it out, and both parties want this one-year extension to keep rates artificially low. And my next guest says that is part of the problem. Both of these parties are the problem. He's running for President of the United States as an independent. He's former Louisiana Governor Buddy Roemer, and he joins me right now. Governor, good to see you.
Good to see you, Neil.
You know, it's like, I guess we can credit them at least for looking for ways to pay for this. But you're arguing we're just paying for stuff we can't afford regardless, right?
Exactly. There seem to be no rules of engagement. We've been here before. Remember you and I talked about the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac disaster?
Right.
Giving housing mortgages to people who couldn't pay them back ever. They gave 3 million housing mortgages to people who never made the first month repayment. Take 3 million times 240,000, that's 720 billion. Guess how much the first bailout was? 720 billion. The math is easy here. There's $1 trillion in student loan debt. Much of it will never be repaid. There are no standards. Many of it goes to students who are not serious, goes to colleges who haven't kept the cost down. It's not competitive, and there are no rigorous standards. And both parties, although the Republicans are better than the Democrats in this one, both parties have not taken a serious look at how we can invest in our children. By the way, moral hazard is when you bail out Goldman Sachs, you've got to bail out the
Well, that's just it.
That's where we are.
One of the things we're getting into on our weekend business shows on Fox that we are on this fine channel, Governor, is whether TARP was wise. And my argument was I was against it then, against it now. But
I know you were.
For that whole slippery slope that you alluded to, that even if it made sense for banks, which I didn't think it did.
No.
It does set up the moral hazard of others expecting it, which is what we got. Cash for clunkers. This went to GM.
Exactly.
This went to... And then everyone and his uncle wants a piece of that. And it's human nature. I can understand
It's called
it.
moral hazard. When you get yourself in a context that you can't say no, then what can you say no to?
But it even sets up for housing, right? Governor, as you astutely pointed out in a prior... Then everyone, if there's another government rescue program coming, and it requires you not to make mortgage payments for 6 months, you're not going to make mortgage payments for 6 months.
You're not going to do it.
So how would you as president change that?
A couple of things. I would spend a little time with a carefully chosen committee of women and men and look at how to solve the problem.
It sounds like Barack Obama with a commission.
No, but here's what I start off with. I think restructuring the debt is fair. It's too big now. It's a burden on the economy. I think these kids are our future. But I would separate those with money and those without money. Right now, the loans don't make much differentiation. They've become an entitlement.
Well, what would you do with the ones with money?
They will have to pay, and their families will have to pay the cost of going to college. I would revolutionize the tax code, Neil, to help do that. I would have a 17% flat tax, a $50,000 exemption for a family of 4. So at $50,000, you pay 0 federal taxes. You pay state taxes and property taxes, but 0 federal. At $100,000, you pay 8.5%. At $250,000, you pay 15%. At $750,000, you pay 17%.
What would be the top combined rate?
17% on federal income taxes.
But it would be a real 17%, right? It wouldn't be one of these.
No exemptions. No exemptions. 0. No housing deduction. No loopholes.
You're not going to be elected county commissioner.
I know, but if I were, this country would move again.
No, I hear what you're saying.
I would take the...
Where does your independent race stand now? Do you need a running mate? Is that how it's going now?
I'm in the process of choosing...
You have to pick a Democrat, right?
I have to pick a Democrat or an independent.
Or you could be the running mate, right? You could be the number 2.
I could.
But you don't want to be number 2.
I would rather be number 1 unless I find somebody better than me, and I know they're out there.
Even if you do, take it from me, Governor, even if they're better, because all the people here are smarter than me, but I'm not going to let them know. So you would do that, and then
I would restructure.
But your views would hurt the Republican nominee more than the Democrat, right?
Not necessarily. I mean, they're both weak as lettuce. I mean, would you stand up and salute Romney? And if so, on what issue?
Yeah, but isn't it, on a fiscal issue, isn't he better than Barack Obama?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
No question about it. On foreign policy, I'm not sure.
Interesting.
On taking corrupt money, they're just the same. That's the issue. No president will do what needs to be done, Neil, unless they're free to lead. On student loans, on doing away with Fannie and Freddie, on having a flat rate tax that's fair and progressive, on a 5-year budget.
No, you say a lot. I'm telling you, Governor, I told you before, you know, if all the people who have told me, you know, he makes a lot of sense, I just don't want to waste my vote, actually voted, you could be president.
Well, let me
you're dismissed out the gate.
Here's where the election is today. 30, 30, 40. 30% Obama, 30% Romney, and 40% don't give a damn about each one of them and are disgusted and are afraid.
That's your base.
That's my base. I'm after the 40. Watch me.
Right.
If I can get on a national stage, and you've helped me,
You'd be
Neil.
good in a debate, boy, I'll tell you that.
You've helped me, Neil. You've given me 5 or 6
you'd be
shots.
very good in a debate. And I think we need that. Are you
I
saying
do
about
too.
John Anderson
We ought to
with
discuss it.
Reagan and Carter? I thought, you know, that's what I love about my favorite country, Italy. They have 58 people running for office at the same time. But they really...
We have 2 choices.
Right.
Mr. 1% and a guy who wants to be 1%.
Wow. Wow, you're making friends left and right. Always good seeing you. And I know you sacrificed a great deal, health-wise and everything, to do this. I would never do that, but
I love your show.
I commend you.